Despite all the protection, and many ancient Egyptian tombs did not remain sealed forever. Tomb robbers were active even during the time of the pharaohs themselves. Golden treasures were simply too tempting, and many guards were bribed or overpowered. Some tombs were looted just days after burial. Others survived for centuries before being discovered. Because of this, most royal tombs were found empty or damaged when archaeologists finally reached them. This is why the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 shocked the world. Unlike most tombs, it was almost completely intact. Inside were thousands of objects: golden coffins, jewelry, chariots, statues, and weapons. It was a time capsule of ancient Egypt. When the tomb was opened, stories of a pharaoh's curse spread rapidly. Several people connected to the excavation died in the following years, leading to rumors that the tomb was cursed. Newspapers around the world turned these events into legends. However, modern historians and scientists believe these deaths were coincidences or caused by natural factors like bacteria and mold inside sealed tombs. Still, the idea of curses added mystery and fear, making ancient Egypt even more fascinating to the public. The treasures found in tombs revealed how advanced Egyptian craftsmanship was. Gold objects were carefully shaped, polished, and engraved with incredible detail. Many of these techniques are still admired by modern jewelers. Gold also showed Egypt's power and wealth. It came from mines in Nubia and other regions controlled by Egypt. Pharaohs used this wealth to build monuments, pay armies, and maintain control over their empire. Sadly, many treasures were lost forever due to tomb robbing. Some were melted down, others sold, and many destroyed. What we see today is only a small fraction of what once existed. Modern museums now protect the remaining treasures. These objects help us understand ancient Egyptian beliefs, technology, and culture. They remind us that gold was not just a sign of wealth, it was a bridge between life and eternity. Ancient Egyptians believed that as long as a pharaoh's name and legacy survived, the soul would live on. In many ways, they were right. Thousands of years later, we still speak their names, study their lives, and admire their treasures. Gold made the pharaohs immortal, not just in their beliefs, but in human history itself. Ancient Egypt was not just a land of pyramids and deserts. It was a civilization built on powerful beliefs about life, death, and eternity. For ancient Egyptians, death was not the end. It was the beginning of a far greater journey. This belief shaped everything they did, especially how they treated their rulers, the pharaohs. Pharaohs were not seen as ordinary humans. They were believed to be chosen by the gods, and in many cases, considered gods themselves on earth. Because of this divine status, pharaohs were surrounded by wealth, rituals, and respect throughout their lives, and even more after their deaths. One of the most important materials in ancient Egypt was gold. Gold was not just valuable, it was sacred. Egyptians believed gold was the flesh of the gods. Unlike other metals, gold never rusted or decayed, which made it a symbol of eternity and immortality. This is why gold played such a central role in pharaohs' tombs. When a pharaoh died, preparations for burial began immediately. The body was carefully mummified so the soul could recognize it in the afterlife. During this process, the body was dried, wrapped in linen, and protected with sacred rituals. But the mummification was only one part of the preparation. The tomb itself was filled with treasures: gold masks, jewelry, weapons, furniture, food, and statues. These were not placed there for decoration or luxury. Egyptians believed the pharaoh would need these items in the afterlife, just as they did in life. One of the most famous examples is the golden death mask of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. Made from solid gold and precious stones, the mask was designed to protect the pharaoh's soul and help it travel safely to the afterlife. Even today, this mask is considered one of the greatest treasures ever discovered. Egyptians believed the afterlife was a perfect version of Earth. Pharaohs would rule forever, protected by the gods. Gold jewelry and amulets were placed on the body to guard against evil spirits and dangers beyond death. Each object had a purpose and spiritual meaning. Tombs were often hidden deep underground or protected by massive stone structures like pyramids. These were built not only to honor the pharaoh, but also to protect the treasures from thieves. Despite this, tomb robbing became common, even in ancient times. The Egyptians knew this risk, which is why they filled tombs with warnings and curses meant to scare intruders. Power during a pharaoh's life. Thrones, crowns, and ceremonial objects were often decorated with gold. This reminded people that the pharaoh was divine and eternal, just like gold itself. By the end of a pharaoh's burial, the tomb became a sealed world, meant to remain untouched forever. But history had other plans. In the next part, we will explore what happened when these tombs were discovered, the truth behind tomb curses, and how pharaohs' treasures changed the modern world forever.